reviewing some of the comments that you've made to me, I've decided that we need to do something a little bit different. Some of you are saying I'm moving way too fast in my presentation, and we want everybody to get the material. So what I've decided to do today is, instead of going to the range, I'm going to put together a slideshow for you of everything that we've covered up to this point. So we're gonna, I'll narrate it. It'll be a great slideshow, probably about 10 minutes or so. But before we do that, let's talk about what we do when a person comes to my class. The first morning they introduce themselves. We go to the range and we get a 100-yard zero. That gives me a chance to look over the students and see who are my shooters, who hasn't had a lot of experience. We asked them to bring 250 rounds to the class, which is quite a bit of ammo to shoot in 1 week, but we want to give them all of the practice that we can. Then on the second day, we'll go out and shoot a cold barrel shot at 100 yards, and then we'll go to the classroom till about noon or so. Have lunch, then we'll go out and we'll shoot zeros out to 300 yards. We'll finish up that day. The next day when we come in, we're going to do a 300-yard zero on day 3. It'll be a 300-yard cold barrel shot, just to show them where they're at 300 yards on the cold barrel, so they can make their adjustments in their books and get it going. Then we'll go in the classroom, teach a couple classes. Then we'll go to the range and we'll spend all afternoon on the range again, just shooting zeros, just practice, position shooting, all the stuff that a good shooter needs to work on. Day 4, 1 class, most of the day on the range. It's just a shoot, have fun day, a good day. And on the last day, we'll take a written test. We'll have a qualification round, and we'll go have lunch and finish up the class. It'll be a great day. I try to get everybody out by Friday at noon. So now would be a good time for you to subscribe to our channel. We hope you like what we're doing here. We've got some more exciting things coming, but enjoy the slide presentation. If you have any questions after that, message me and we'll try to answer them for you. And the next time we see you, we're going to be on the range.
When it comes to shooting, the only constant that we have is gravity. Gravity is going to work the same time each and every time that we squeeze that trigger. So we have to take that into consideration every time that we go to the range. The minute of angle is 1 inch at 100 yards, 2 inches at 200, 3 at 300, and so forth and so on all the way out. We don't deal in meters, we always deal in yards when it comes to minutes of angle. Range time velocity divided by 10 for 308, 30-06, and your 300 Win mags. This is a great formula for those calibers. For your 223, 22-250, 25-06, it's range times velocity of the wind divided by 15. This is a clock that shows your full value, half value, and no value wind. Remember, the shooter's always at 6 o'clock. Here we have our range indicator card. I always carried one of these in the field with me. They're very accurate and very nice to have with you. The windsock is full at 17 miles an hour. This is a good indicator. Range flags showing the wind. I used this book a lot, carried it with me. The other interpretation is this one here. It's a drawing that somebody made, and it's quite accurate also. Look at the Mirage. You got the straight up is actually the swirling is the hardest one to shoot through. The indicators are you have all the ones that I talked about. Lights up, sights up, lights down, sights down. That means if it's really bright out, you're going to shoot low. So you have to raise your sights up. And lights down, sights down. If it's an overcast day, you're going to shoot high. So make sure you bring your sights down a little bit. Remember, it's not a sin to move your rear sight or your scope sight on your weapon. Actually, it's encouraged. When you're hunting, the Colt barrel shot is probably the most important shot you'll ever take. It's the first round that comes out of the barrel, and if you're a good hunter, it'll be the only shot that comes out of the barrel. The rule of thumb is for every 1,000 foot of elevation, there's going to be a 1 minute of angle change to your zero. So from sea level to 5,000 feet, it's a rule of thumb, that would be quite a change in your zero. For every 10 degrees of temperature change, there will be a 1 minute angle of change to your zero. This is also a rule of thumb, so you're going to have to shoot these different elevations and temperatures and get your butt going to make sure it's you have the right zeros on your gun. There are so many different sniper data books out there that it's hard for me to pick which one I like the best. What I like to do is every once in a while I'll just download targets from the internet, and I'll use those targets and write my data on them. But the information that you need right now is so easy to find, and there's so much of it out there. So all you have to do is just look and find the material you want to use, and make your data book out of that. This is your standard range card. This is the card you're going to put all your data on when you move into a hide or into a position. You can see that they filled one out here and the distance to everything, but the one I like the best is the one I use in the field, and that's this notebook and with the data on it, and when I get through I just throw the dang thing away and move to a new location. A lot of people have been asking about this cartoon. Well, one of my students back in 1990, he decided he was going to do a drawing of me while he was taking my class, and this is how it turned out.
It's another great day in Idaho. We just finished up the video, and there's a lot of information there. At the end of the video, you're going to find some targets that you can find on the internet. We're still stuck into this COVID-19 thing, so we're having a tough time getting out of the house and to the ranges. Most of the stuff has been closed down, but next week we're going to try. So we hope you're safe out there. Have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed the video.